Hey folks, Wally DM here, and this puzzle is going to mark the 6th anniversary of this channel. On March 1st, 2016, I uploaded my very first puzzle video, The Door of Children's Bedtime. Hello adventurers, welcome to Wally DM. This puzzle is named Door of Children's Bedtime. We have come a long way since then, but I am excited to be here. Never in my wildest imagination did I think that I would still be doing puzzle videos 6 years later after uploading my first one. So with that in mind, I have been developing and playtesting an encounter that is designed to be a sequel to my very first puzzle. In fact, I ran an entire one-shot around it. If you'd like to see me run this puzzle, check out my playlist on the Obelisk of Ambervein. But today we're going to take a look at the puzzle itself. This is a sequel to my very first puzzle video, The Door of Children's Bedtime. This one is The Door of Children's Playtime. Before we get started, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, join us over on the Discord, and pick up a copy of my book, Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters, available now on DriveThruRPG. So this puzzle is going to take place in a magical mansion. Now this is a good puzzle for a one-shot because this is something you're going to want to build around. This is going to take a little bit of time to solve and to develop. Now we need to get our characters into this mansion, so there's a number of different ways that we could do this. We could use the original Door of Children's Bedtime puzzle, and when they solve that, they come through this door over here and they arrive into the room. You could also dig into the Journal of Puzzle Encounters. There is the Mirror of Separation puzzle, and you could set that up. As you can see, we have a mirror here to the south. Or you could do what I did, and the adventurers found an old rusty elevator in a toy maker's shop. They went all the way down, the bottom fell out, they went unconscious for a little bit, and when they woke up, they're in this room laying on this rug. Now, what happens in this magical mansion is the character's physical appearance is going to change. They are now going to look like their childhood selves, and I would probably say the equivalent of a 10-year-old human. So that is definitely going to differ for your elves and dwarves, but as long as they are a childhood version of themselves. Now, of course, they're going to be able to keep all their physical statistics and their attacks and things like that. It's just their appearance that has changed, and they can see themselves in this conveniently placed mirror. Now, once our characters leave this room and continue to explore the mansion, that is when we're going to get our first piece or first area of the puzzle that's going to take effect, and that's going to be in the foyer. So let me switch over to the battle mat and we'll continue on. So our adventuring party is going to enter the foyer. Now this is the beginning room of the mansion, and in fact it looks like we have the front door of the mansion that should lead to the exit right here in front of us. Now there's a few things that they will notice before they even get an attempt to open the door, and that is that there is a cat that is curled up on a rug over in this area. Now depending on how quiet or how loud the characters are when they come in, they'll either wake the cat or the cat might stay sleeping, but when it does awaken, it will be friendly, and in fact the cat even looks hungry. Now if one of our characters tries to feed the cat's going to refuse. And if one of our characters have a spell such as speak with animals, then the only thing they're going to be able to obtain from the cat is the cat's name is Finicky, the cat is hungry, and the cat wants to eat out of its own pet dish. As far as knowing where it's at, the cat has no idea. Now for the remainder of the time that the adventurers are in this mansion, this cat's going to follow them around until they find his pet dish and feed him dinner. Now there's a door that leads into another room of the mansion, and there's some stairs that go upwards into the darkness. Now of course we still have our front door here, but off to the right of this front door is a window. Now the window is currently closed, but it looks like a bright sunny day outside, and it even looks like there's kids outside playing in a familiar park. Perhaps it's the city where our adventures have originated from. And then of course we have our front door. So if our adventurers make their way over to the front door, it is unlocked, it is not trapped, but if they open it, they're going to be confronted with a vast wasteland. And in this vast wasteland, about 150 feet in front of them is going to be a glowing door, and surrounding the glowing door, going in and out of this wasteland and the ground, are going to be purple worms. Now, if our adventurers try to make their way to the door, they're never going to reach it. It is always going to be 150 feet away, and they take a chance of being eaten by a purple worm. Now, if a purple worm does eat and swallow one of the characters, then they would simply respawn into the beginning room of the mansion. Now, this door is the way out of here, but the puzzle needs to be solved before the wasteland's going to disappear and they'll be presented with a normal outside. Now, as far as this window goes, there is an illusion that makes it look like there is a sunny day with kids outside playing in a park, but if this glass is broken or if the windows are open, it's going to be that same wasteland. So at this point, our characters are going to need to continue on through the mansion, and of course, Finicky is going to join them. So the puzzle should actually start coming together when the adventurers find the kitchen. And again, they are in the form of their childhood selves, whether that's 10-year-old humans or the equivalent as to the race. And of course, we have this cat that has been following them around. Now, if the characters were hesitant to come into the kitchen, then perhaps this cat is leading the way, because again, this cat is very hungry, but does not seem to want to eat anything that the adventurers will put in front of it. Now, in this kitchen, we have plenty of things to look at, and a lot of it's just going to be mundane items. But one thing for sure, this place is a mess. There's dirty dishes in the sink, there's pots and pans everywhere, there's scraps put in different places, there are overflowing trash cans, and things of that nature. But the magical part of this puzzle is going to take place over on this wall, and if our characters come over here and look, they're going to see a chalkboard that has a white line at the top and 5 squares that are listed underneath, kind of like a to-do list. Now, there's also going to be a door over here, and this door is going to go into the pantry. So if one of our explorers come over here and look through the pantry, there's going to be a lot of storage items in there. There's going to be a lot of empty things, but there's going to be a few things that are definitely going to stand out to them. The first is going to be cat food, a broom, a jar of jelly worms, and a pet dish with the name Finicky. Now, once the adventurers have at least found the cat food and the dish, then our cat is definitely going to pay attention to him until they feed him. Now, this cat does live up to his name Finicky because the only way that he will eat is out of his own pet dish that has his name on it. So once one of the adventurers take the pet dish and the cat food and put it into the bowl, the cat will start eating, and that is when our chalkboard is going to activate. And if any of our characters are watching this, they're going to hear the sounds of chalk, and at the top of the chalkboard it's going to say, "Before you go play outside." And then, as if a magical hand was writing it, the first checkbox is going to be checked, and next to it it's going to say, "Feed the cat." So it's at this point our adventurers have probably figured out that in order to get out the front door of the mansion or to go outside and play, that they're going to need to fill in these remaining 4 check marks. So do you know what's going on here? I'll give you a second to figure it out. Did you get it? Great. Let's go over the answer. Well, it is definitely a to-do list, and our characters have to do their childhood chores before they can go play outside or escape the mansion. Now, there's going to be plenty for them to do in here. They've already fed the cat Finicky, and that first checkbox has been marked off. Now, there is a mess in this kitchen with regards to dishes and things of that nature, so if they're to clean the kitchen, then the second box would either say clean the dishes or clean the kitchen. That is up to you as the dungeon master. But now we have 2 tasks complete. Now, for the third one, we do have a table over here, and all of these dishes are stacked neatly to one side. So if one of our characters comes over here and sets the table, then our third checkbox is going to be checked, and next to it, it's going to say set the table. And of course, we have overflowing trash cans. So let's say our bard comes over here to take out the trash. Our bard is going to find an outside patio area with a very large stone fence, and if he were to climb up and look what's over the fence, again, it's just going to be a barren wasteland as far as you can see. But now there is this large 10-foot hole crater, and our bard is going to be able to just toss the trash down into the crater. In fact, there is probably some remnants of carrot clippings or some other type of garbage that might be laying about. Now, one of the fun things when I ran this puzzle is if the characters stay out here too long and start messing with this, they're going to hear a rumbling sound, and out from This hole is going to be a purple worm. And of course, if the bard stays out here too long, the purple worm is going to have a lot more than trash for lunch. So our bard is probably going to run back inside to safety. Now for our characters that are still inside, the fourth checkbox is going to be checked and it's going to say, take out the trash. Now there's still one more chore remaining, and I heavily encourage you to make this one be clean your room. So our characters are going to need to explore the mansion, and they're going to need to go upstairs, and when they go upstairs, they're going to find bedrooms that look like their childhood bedrooms. And of course, if you remember, in our kitchen, we found a broom, and all of these bedrooms upstairs are a mess. So if each character takes some time, takes the broom and knocks down cobwebs and put things where they need to be, then the characters will have cleaned the room. And if they go back down into the kitchen to take a look at the chalkboard, it is now going to be filled, and the fifth checkbox is going to say, clean your room. With their chores now complete, the adventurers can return to the foyer and escape the mansion through the front door, and once they cross the threshold, they'll return to their adult selves. So that is the Door of Children's Playtime. And again, I ran this as a one-shot adventure, the Obelisk of Ambervein. If you'd like to see me run that, then check out the playlist. I included 4 different puzzles in that one. In fact, there is even still one puzzle that hasn't been presented yet on the channel. Oh, and I feel like I did leave one thing unresolved. What was it with that bag of jelly worms in the pantry? Well, that's up to you as a DM to decide. I was going to treat them somewhat like good berries or some types of healing because kids love candy, and maybe it gives them some sugar rush or some healing properties. Leave a comment below and let me know what the bag of jelly worms would do in your game. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is this something that you could use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? In particular, what chores would the characters have to complete in order to escape the mansion? And once again, I want to thank everyone for being with me on this 6-year journey of puzzles for Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm looking forward to several more, and I hope you're going to be there along the way. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.